This road thing, this living and dying by this street code, when you're deep in it, this stops working. You know, there's certain man who have been in situations where they own a bicycle. Their brethren has used their bicycle to go and do a night mission. They've done what they've done, and things have kind of got on top, and they've had to flee the scene, and they dropped the bicycle and ran off. They got away. But the bicycle, a major piece of evidence, has been left behind. Now, the man that was on the bicycle that ran off, he was wearing gloves. He knew exactly what he was doing. The owner of the bicycle is his bicycle. It's got his DNA, fingerprints plastered all over the bike. The police have turned up and they found the bicycle. Taking it back to the forensic science lab, wherever. Found a match. My man. The owner of the bicycle has been arrested on suspicion of such and such and such. Now he is sitting down in the cell, whatever, thinking, alright, these are the possible charges. Because when you're on the street, you know if you do certain stuff, you know what the likely charge is. You know? If a man is caught selling crack and heroin right now, and it's his first offence, he ain't got no big bits or nothing like that, but he's got little pebbles here and there, whatever. You know it's not personal use, you know this person's a dealer. More than likely, probably gonna get a 2 years do one. If you're caught with a gun, you're gonna get 5 years. So the man's in the cell and he's weighing up thinking, fuck, like, you know, these are the likely charges. Yeah. You know, if I get found guilty, which I'm not, but if I get found guilty, I could be riding a 623, possibly. So a man, you know, don't say nothing during the interview or nothing like that. But then he gets in contact with his guy who borrowed the bike and basically got him in trouble. Obviously, a man has said to a man, yo, fam, you need to tell the police, you know, well, go on, innit? You know what a man's response is? Boy, I'm a father, man. My youth's gonna turn 1 in a couple of months' time. I need to be there for my youth. Can't you understand that? You know what the man has done? The one who's in the cell, yeah? The one who's technically innocent. He don't have no alibi or whatever. You know what he's done? He's taken the guilty charge. He's accepted the charges. Because he doesn't want to tell the police the truth about what happened. You seen a situation like that? And people can watch this and say, oh yeah, snitching your... Every man for themselves. I do not give a fuck. I am not riding a bird for a next man when I had nothing to do with the crime a next man committed. It so happens that he borrowed my bike and done whatever. If I was in that situation there, I'm telling the man, either you tell the police what really happened, or I'm telling the police what really happened. Now, there's certain man, they might all, you know, ride the bird and shit like that. Not because they want to abide by the street code or whatever, innit? They might be scared of the repercussions, you know, if they snitch or whatever, innit? I don't give a fuck. Man might give you ultimatums, boy, either you ride it, or if you snitch, we're going to be on you. The whole gang, we're all on you. Well, then the whole gang's on me then, innit? I am not riding no bird for no one else. It would be different if the two men were both involved in some foolishness or whatever, innit? But a man weren't involved in nothing, but yet still you're gonna... Nah. Situations like that, maybe they obviously they don't happen exactly like that, but there's a lot of men that are in situations where they're not involved. They may have just been somewhere, but they have no participation, and they've been arrested with them man there or whatever, and they're relying on their guys who are actually involved, they're actually guilty, to say no, you know, my man weren't involved. And you know the man them who are guilty, they don't tell the police, he weren't involved, you know. They don't say nothing, no comment all the way, because they want to abide by the street code. I'm saying no in a situation like that. I don't give a fuck. I'm telling the police, listen, it weren't me. It was him. You think I'm going to be riding 3 years in prison for an ex-man, for a crime I didn't commit? You mad? A man's excuses. My youth's going to be 1 year old in a couple months' time. I need to be there for him or her. Well, you should have thought about that before you went out and done your night mission, innit? It's a madness. This is why man them need to get off the road, man, as soon as possible. ASAP. Sorry guys, I fucking fly around. ASAP. Because one day you could be in a situation, you could be landing in a situation you ain't even ready for. You could be with one of your friends driving around. You could be driving somewhere. One of your friends, you know, use the driver. One of your friends is in the passenger seat. He might see someone that he don't like. A man's just jumped out the car, boom, stabbed up a guy. The CCTV camera that's dotted on top of the lamppost has caught your car, caught your registration. It looks like you lot were driving around looking for enemies or whatever. He's been nicked, you've been nicked, you're the getaway driver, whatever, joint enterprise. Both in jail for murder. All because a man is keeping the wrong company and he doesn't want to snitch. But in a situation like that, I'm telling. I know the fake people are going to watch this and be like, if that was me, I wouldn't be telling the police this or that. You don't know. You don't know. You see, it's easy to watch a video like this and be like, man, I wouldn't say nothing. Man, I won't say nothing, innit? Yeah. Until the police are sitting in front of you and they're telling you, boy, you're facing 19 years for this. It don't even have to be 19 years. It could be a lesser crime where no one's been murdered or nothing like that. But the outcome might be you might get 5 years in prison. Put yourself in that situation right now. Even if you're a woman. If you feel like, oh yeah, I wouldn't snitch, I wouldn't tell the police nothing. Just put yourself in that position. I don't know if you've been arrested before, innit? But if you've been arrested and you've been interviewed by the police, just put yourself in that position. You know what? After this interview, I could be going to prison for 5 years. Actually visualize it. Then think to yourself, oh, you know, would I really snitch? Yeah. Because most people would. So people need to, man, them that are on the road, you need to get off the road, man. Stop living by this street code. It's not gonna get you nowhere. I know people who, their people them has been murdered. And they was there. And there is insufficient evidence to convict the murderer. The police know it's the murderer, but there's just insufficient evidence. And the family of the deceased is relying on this one person who is a witness to come forward and say, yes, it was him. That's all they needed. All they need for conviction is that one person who was there to say, yes, it was him. I was there. It was him. But because this person's living by the street code, they're saying, no, I ain't snitching. I ain't saying nothing. And the murderer's able to walk free. Even dropped her ute as well. So a murderer has got away with murder. And now he's been able to reproduce. And maybe poison that child's mind. Maybe not. So living that street code and abiding by the street code, or not snitching, this and that. Man said, the brain switches off. That was me. I'm snitching. It was him. I don't give a fuck about no consequences. I'll deal with it. Anyway, it's about 11:30 right now. Doing my little painting thing and that, so I'm gonna get some rest. I got some woman hit into my car, and she damaged the front of my car. So the people that are coming to drop off a courtesy car tomorrow, innit? I'll make a video about, actually, yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah, I'll make a video about something, innit? But yeah, stay wise.